I saw the free Quran. Can I have one?
Yeah, of course. Is it for yourself?
Yeah. Discover. I never read it.
Yeah, we don't usually like the French, but I'll make an exception for you. Let me see. Okay. Are you religious? I'm assuming not.
No, I'm.
What are you?
Nothing. I can say.
You are something, man. What are you talking about?
Trying to find my way.
Yes. So, do you believe in a creator at least, or?
No.
Okay. So, how do you?
Well, I like nothing, but nothing especially. But
Yeah.
I like to read.
But France is like against religion a lot
Yeah.
as a country, right?
Yeah.
So even I think the people who are religious are kind of looked down upon by the community in a way. So when you see someone who's religious, I think the community looks down upon them. I don't think even it matters what your religion is, but they would look at you like you are someone who's from the past. You know, you need to.
You need to bring. In the French word say we need to bring you the light.
Yeah, enlighten me. Enlighten me. Okay, that's what we're saying. Yeah.
Well, you know, I moved in Canada 6 years ago from France because I think friends feel like always they bring you the light, but they don't see.
Even French don't like France, man.
I know, it's kind of weird. But,
So when it comes to the existence of the creator, let me ask you this question, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think that the existence of God is a part of human nature?
Yeah, I think.
Right. That we are born as humans. Yeah, a higher power. Let's use a higher power, right? We are born believing in a higher power. Yeah. Don't you agree? So this idea of atheism is a new thing that has been introduced to the people. But there are studies on that, by the way. Oxford University conducted a study. But Justin Barrett, right, is a big professor in Oxford University. He brought 50 academics, I believe, right? And they conducted studies on children from 20 different countries. And the study took 3 years. And he said in the end that these children are innately believing in a higher power. Without any control, from countries like China.
I believe in that.
So
in each civilization gets something to believe in higher.
Exactly. Every civilization believed in some sort of higher power.
On my side, I think like science, like you say, the late part in France is a belief. You believe in science, you think the world is a belief.
Yeah, but there's no conflict between the two. I think that's the problem that some people kind of make, right? Is that they assume there is a conflict between the idea of the existence of God and the idea of science.
Yeah.
But they don't conflict. Like for example, science.
Yeah.
What is science? Do you know what science is? Like the scientific method.
Yeah, it's a method.
Yeah, the scientific method is to study the physical world through experimentation, repeatability, and falsification, right? Do you know the person who developed that method is a Muslim?
No.
Okay, so his name is Hassan ibn al-Haytham. Al-Hassan ibn al-Haytham. You can Google. He has a book called Optics, and he's the one who developed the new scientific method that we're using today. Right? So Muslims developed the scientific method. It's not like we're against science. We don't have issue with it.
I saw in the first astrolabe was developed by the Muslims.
Yeah. Even one of the physicians, Al-Razi, there's a statue in France for him in universities there because of the contributions that Muslims brought forward, right? So what I'm trying to say is this: if the idea we have this idea innately of the belief of the creator, where does it come from? I'm making the claim that it comes from the creator, because where would it come from? Some people would say, okay, this is an evolutionary kind of thing that we developed, but the idea of belief in God is not in favor of survival and reproduction, because when you believe in God, there is more deaths that happen and all that, right?
Yeah.
So you can die for the sake of God, but that's against your survival and reproduction. So evolution doesn't like religion really, so it can convince you that there is a God, right? So this idea, where does it come from? So we're saying if someone is an atheist, I would say that person is deviating from the innate way that God has created him. So you have to be influenced by society to move you away from religion. Because some people say, look, he believes in religion, he's influenced to believe in religion. But it's actually the opposite. You're influenced to become an atheist because naturally you would believe in a creator.
Inside, believe in something. Like when, let's say, the Jews say, when Abraham go out to the cave, say, we're splitting the sun going in the east and going
Exactly.
the west. So we have to find something because we have questions.
Exactly. So don't you agree then that looking at this magnificent universe, it has to be something that brought it into existence? Some higher power. Don't you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Yeah, so that's what Muslims say. It's as simple as that, right? We say there's a higher power that brought the universe into existence. And then you mention Abraham, which is very interesting. We say that, look, there are tens of prophets that came throughout the times, right? They all had the same message. There is a higher power out there. That higher power is worthy of your gratitude, it's worthy of your worship, and that higher power gives you morality. Because without the higher power, you cannot have objective morality.
You build society, like you build a culture, society with, you say morality, but we can say with norms and rules.
Exactly. Because if you don't have these rules, you'll make up your own rules, and they will be deficient rules, problematic rules, and that's what we see. Like in the West, you see the highest rates today. In the first time ever, you can see the highest rates of depression when it comes to women, depression when it comes to women, suicide rates, and all of that. Why? Because people are not content with the rules that they've made up after leaving the rules of God. You get what I'm trying to say, right? And high
find a sense in the world. So
exactly. And you would know that very well because you're from France. So you see the opposite of religion, literally, like push away religion completely, right? So you see how that can be problematic for human beings. So what we say as Muslims, God sent different messengers throughout time. So we believe in Adam, Jesus, Moses, Noah, prophets. We believe in all of them. You cannot be a Muslim unless you believe in Jesus and Moses and Noah and Abraham. You have to believe in all of them. So we believe that God sent these messengers and they brought scriptures to their people.
Yeah, the Catholics that don't like the messengers.
Yeah, the Catholics
don't like
Why?
I don't know, but when they came, wasn't the Catholic Church there, they say, when there is a schism between Protestant and Catholic, they say, the Protestant destroy everything here in Catholic. And when the Catholic, Spanish Catholic came...
Yes, there was a big war.
The Americans destroy everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, if you go today, some churches, if you go today and say Jesus was a messenger, they will kick you out. So you have to say he's God, he's son. And I think you don't believe that. You don't believe a human being was God and he was killed on a cross. Or do you believe that?
Which man could be a God?
Jesus. Do you believe that human beings can be God?
In that way, like you make the sentence?
No, in any way. Like I'll tell you this.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, think about it. Let's think about it, right? Human beings have a starting point. Do you agree? Before human beings, there was planet Earth. Before we started to exist. Do you agree? There was a universe.
Yeah.
So how could God be a human being when there was a universe and there was no human beings?
I don't know, because if I don't believe in God, I can believe in the highest thing, but
higher part.
God is a way to understand the highest thing. So you can have gods.
Sure. So let me tell you this. Do you believe the highest thing brought the universe into existence? Because the universe.
Can you repeat it?
Do you believe the higher power brought the universe into existence? Because the universe cannot come from nothing.
Well, this is science. It says it come from nothing.
Which scientist says that?
Well, no.
They don't say that. They say it's talking about the Big Bang. Yeah.
But the beginning, so it comes from something, but we don't know what it is.
No.
The Big Bang or something like that.
The Big Bang proves God. Can I tell you why?
It proves something before.
Exactly. So we're agreeing, you know.
God is an
we'll come. We don't need to use the word God, right? Because I think it's the word what is bothering you is the word. Leave the word. But I'm talking about the concept, right? If there is a Big Bang, right, then something has to bring the energy and matter into existence, have to cause them and compress them and expand them and all of that, and these laws have to come from somewhere.
I agree. Like my best example is like, you know, you have a hurricane. So science can prove how hurricane is spraying, you know, the hot water and the cold weather.
Yes.
Like but it doesn't explain why.
Yes. Yeah, science doesn't explain why. Yes, explains how it doesn't explain why.
The hurricane came here on this
absolutely.
Way.
Even doesn't.
I could believe in something higher.
No, but I'll tell you something interesting. Science cannot explain, and this is something interesting. I'll tell you now. That's a lot of people don't talk about. Science cannot explain every how.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there are some hows that are metaphysical. For example, your consciousness. Yeah. Science, we have the hard problem of consciousness because it's a metaphysical thing, right? So science even has limits in the how. Leave the why now, right? Like that's why we cannot say what happened before the universe or how the singularity came into existence. They don't have explanation because the how doesn't reach there, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
You're entering the metaphysical realm, right? So I'm saying, looking at the universe, don't you agree? The universe displays certain attributes of the creator. Like whatever created it, right? Yeah. I'm not using the term God, but whatever created the universe, because I like so whoever created the universe had to have magnificent amount of power to create a universe full of energy. Every atom is full of energy. If you split it, nuclear explosion, right? It has to have a knowledge and intelligence that we cannot even comprehend because there's information in the universe. There's laws, complex laws, right? It had to be not bound by time and space in the same way we are, right? So it can know the future because we're bound by past, present, but it created time and space, literally, right? So when you look at this, something that is eternal, that can know the future because it's not bound by time, right? And powerful in a way we cannot know, intelligent intelligent in a way. What would we call that? What is the word you would use for it?
Yeah, I have that.
You don't have to use it. You don't have to use it.
Yeah, you're fighting my French side.
Okay. But you get what I'm trying to say. You don't have to admit it.
That's why I like to read about existing because you offer me so.
Absolutely. So I'm saying it makes common sense if you think about it, you know? Just like it would make common sense that it has to be an intelligent entity that created this table and it needed material. When I look at the universe, it would make sense whoever created it need to have power, need to have these attributes, right?
Yeah.
By necessity. So it's not maybe, it's by necessity. Yeah. Or you cannot make the universe. Do you get what I'm trying to say, right? So what do you think about then the idea of prophets? Do you agree that the God, or let's say the higher entity, let's say the higher entity sends prophets, or let's use the word Allah, Allah is better, right? Do you believe that Allah or the higher power sends prophets and messengers?
When few men there are some prophets.
Yes.
Maybe I not agree with this.
You don't believe in prophets? You don't like
prophets? Why some believe is prophet and others knows?
Good question. I will answer it. Okay. So I would say two things. First is if there is no prophets, I would say prophets are a necessity. So if there is a higher power that created the universe and it gave a role and purpose to everything in the universe, we're not the odd one out. So we also have a role and purpose. Now, how do I know my role and purpose? I need someone to give me the message. Now, the question is this: if there is no prophets and messengers, and me and you can get message directly from God, we'll have chaos. You will say God said this to me, I'll say God said that to me, and then we'll fight with one another. Yeah. But there has to be individuals that they don't just claim that they are messengers, they have to bring evidence.
Yeah.
So when we believe, for example, in Moses and Jesus and Abraham, they brought...
the problem what now? We don't have any prophets right now. So we don't have any proof.
Excellent.
This is our times.
You're right, but what we say as Muslims is that Prophet Muhammad is the last and final messenger in a line of messengers, right? So what we say is the evidences that he came with, you can look at today. In order for you to know whether he's really a messenger or not, you want to see the evidences, right? We're saying today you can look at these evidences and you can know whether he was a messenger or not. So, for example, the Quran, we're saying, is the biggest miracle that any prophet or messenger came with. Quran has information that no one knew in the past, that no one knew at the time of the prophet, that we're learning today.
Yeah.
For example, the Quran talks about the universe expanding. It talks about biological life, that everything living is created from water. And we know that everything living today is created from water because cells and every cell contains water, right? It talks about embryology, the baby in the womb. The stages, every stage that it takes for a woman, for a human being to become a baby, you know?
Okay.
And
I'm you finishing your sentence.
Okay, no problem. I'll let you go. Well, all I'm saying is this, right? Look into the evidences as well of Prophet Muhammad when you read the Quran. So read the Quran, which is I'm sure you will do. You're a very open-minded, nice guy, right? So read the Quran and also think, as I said, research what are the evidences for Prophet Muhammad being a prophet. Because it's not just a claim that just a human being made like me. I say to you, I'm a messenger. No, it's someone actually showing you the evidences why he's a messenger. Okay, I can give you a channel before you go to help you to look at the evidences if you want on YouTube. You don't want? Accepted the Quran. Okay, no problem. It's a good thing to do. No problem. No, my pleasure. If you have any questions, please come back. Ask whatever you like. Yeah.
See you later.
No problem. Nice talking.